Compared to the borders that I've entered now, this is the best.
Border vurine nakanga manda na vashumi va vurine vanoshuma border rani va ku clean hote ni matuleti ni xijena was smart.
We used to come here and spend like hours, but today it was fast. Now we are going back in the bus, but we arrived here maybe 30 or 45 minutes ago.
The improvements are quite well at the border, and I think we are now approaching the global standards.
System yapo it's upgraded now. Kungosvika tichipinda takaenda.
BEITBRIDGE border post is the busiest border post in southern Africa, which not only connects South Africa to Zimbabwe, but is a key access point to trade with countries further to the north. Owing to the aging infrastructure, significant waiting periods hampered the smooth flow of both human and cargo traffic, consequently slowing trade across the southern Africa.
Every year we will have public outcries on delays. We also have outcries from the truckers' organizations, people who would use in their daily businesses that border. Being the busiest border, it meant that it's bringing in revenue to government. But the kind of congestion and delays that were being witnessed there, and the human interface also, the government felt it's a breeding ground for corrupt tendencies. So in 2018, the government commenced the process of procurement of a partner.
Early 2000, the movement of persons and freight and traffic between Zimbabwe and South Africa and basically the whole region had increased. So the strain then resulted into an impact on the efficiencies, because naturally there is more people, there is more vehicles, there is more services, there is more types of service requiring this similar service from a restrained facility. So this also put a strain on the government departments that were servicing this border post, and naturally then this border post became a bottleneck. So this is where this whole upgrade story started. Come 2017, after the second dispensation, this is where the process of research went onto the ground. The computations, the traffic volumes, the anticipated traffic volumes, and how much infrastructure was going to be done.
The story of BEITBRIDGE took a turn in 2022 following the completion of the $300 million United States BEITBRIDGE Border Modernization Project. The modernization project is one of the key economic and developmental initiatives being spearheaded by the Second Republic. It came about through a partnership between the government of Zimbabwe and the Zimborders Consortium as part of the Ease of Doing Business drive under the 17.5 years build, operate and transfer arrangement.
The improvement was through a joint venture, or a triple P, if I would put it that way. A procurement process was engaged in, and Zimborders won the tender to improve the BEITBRIDGE border post. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm saying congestion and the need to ease the doing of business at that border nudged the government into action.
It's one of the biggest public-private partnerships that have taken place, where you see the private sector coming into a public sector setup and providing a service on behalf of government. We had a 2.5-year gap to initially do the construction. All the scopes and all the works that came with the project were completed at least 3 months in advance. and it gave us a lot of time to look back and introspect and see what further improvements could be done.
The border was modernized in 3 phases to improve efficiency.
Historically, or on record, we would have a waiting period of up to 8 days for a truck to be cleared, for goods to be cleared. And right now, our maximum clearing period is just about 4 hours maximum. What that has done is that we have cut costs on the transporters, because the waiting period would mean accommodating someone. There would be need to feed them, and of course, in terms of parking, those trucks will be carrying valuable goods, so they would need secure parking. It has also improved the revenue intake into our treasury. The president is on record, and even treasury has confirmed that revenues from that border have trebled since the commissioning of the border post. So what we have done is introduced efficiencies on the border, and we have seen a rise in the number of truckers using that border to go up north.
This is the new world-class BEITBRIDGE border post that was upgraded from 2019 to 2022 November. The BEITBRIDGE border post is now divided into 3 sections. We have 3 phases, which are the freight area, the bus area, and the light vehicle and pedestrian phase.
You can imagine a truck driver who's bringing in a 60-ton consignment, who's got to queue in the same clearance queue with a tourist who's just eager to go and experience Zimbabwe's largest tourist resorts. Their interests and the amount of time and the processes that they need to go through are totally different. So one of the key things that this development sought to solve is traffic separation. The first one is the freight terminal. This was our first phase that we put into practice. It has got an expanded truck facility parking from the previous parking maximum of about 60 trucks. Now we can handle almost close to 300 trucks. And then come June 2022, we completed phase 2, which is the passenger terminal. And then last year in December, we completed phase 3, which is the light vehicles and pedestrians terminal. So by completing these 3 phases, it meant that for the first time in December last year, this border was fully completed and available to use during the festive season post-COVID.
Each category of traffic is getting specialized and customized services from the border authorities depending on their specific needs. This has resulted in the decongestion and efficiency of the border.
As immigration, we are very grateful to the government for the upgrade which has been done at this border post. Congestion is now a thing of the past. Previously, every traveler was cleared from a central point because we only had one terminal, and that usually resulted in congestion as truckers, buses, pedestrians, and those who use small vehicles were processed from a central point. Passengers are cleared according to whether they are a commercial bus or passenger, small vehicle passenger.
About 7 million travelers use BEITBRIDGE border yearly, and it has an estimated carrying capacity of 3,000 commercial trucks, 1,000 buses, and 5,000 light motor vehicles, and up to 50,000 ordinary travelers daily. The new facility has numerous state-of-the-art service points and counters within the spacious terminals and clearance halls, which houses ZIMRA, immigration and other government agencies involved in the clearance of workflow systems.
The new structure is world-class standard, and we are very happy coming to work every day because the standards have been greatly improved. Our officers are working in spacious environment. If you check in our halls, there is more space and the outlook is quite elegant. We would like to thank the government for looking at our welfare and improving the standards that we are operating from, because previously we were just all operating from one central point, all the stakeholders in this border post.
Automated and non-intrusive inspection technology in the form of state-of-the-art X-ray scanning equipment for both baggage and commercial cargo is also now in use at the border post.
There is a lot of IT-related infrastructure around. The idea behind heavily creating automation is to reduce the amount of human interface that is involved here. There are points at the booms where actually a car would drive, and if it is fully compliant, there are automated number plate reading cameras which would speak to the servers, and if every process is okay, the booms would channel the traffic out. Why did we seek to do that? It's because we also believe that the over-involvement of the human facet also has got a contribution to delays and inefficiencies. So by looping out a lot of unnecessary human interface, we are actually driving towards the gamut of efficiency.
In the newly constructed warehouses, we have an upgraded fire system. For instance, we have a fire detection system which detects gas and smoke before a fire even starts. The minute that is detected, the sprinklers will be turned on and they start taking down the fire wherever it is. These fire systems that are set on the ground are actually inspected every single week to make sure every fire extinguisher is full, all the fire hose reels are in working order efficiently and effectively.
To aid this aspect of technology, we also have biometric access, which means if you are not authorized to be in a specific zones, you will not be granted access. This also limits illicit activities, illicit encroachments, and things like that.
The border is now more user-friendly to importers and exporters and the general travelers, as they are now spending less time at the post due to efficient management systems.
Kabodarana apa ndikubona una development mauro anoita yawo. Vandikubona kuti zvezvino zvithu zvingi computerized navathu vanji vano vachikodopira apa bhodharani vavokwanisa usarobhiwa, vanoiterwa dzi TIP navanoiterwa magate pass, vavokwanisa kuti vatuwe vaivudzisa kana kuti operatera kama application arione orugisiwawo.
I was impressed because I came here 8 years ago, so I wasn't expecting this. Even on the after border on the street, everything is nice. You know, we have negative mind when you talk about Zim, but now I'm very positive. I'll be here again in 2 months. I'm coming back. I was impressed. We're here less than 20 minutes, we're out. So I would say to people, just come to Zim. You're welcome. That's the best border in all borders. I've been traveling to Europe, wherever. In Africa, this one is the best. I would just say keep it up.
The improvements are amazing and very efficient. And everything computerized. We can see on the screen there when our car's cleared, and we can come through the border with no hassle, no problem. You know, I've got twins here, so they're a big problem for us to carry around at the border, and we really enjoy the way that everything is conducted here. The way that we cleared. I mean, this little piece of paper that they give us, we just go to each counter. And then we're through. It's far more efficient in South Africa, which was vice versa a few years ago.
It's now a world standard. However, there is some challenges that we are currently facing. There is little or a less number of the local people working in the border gate, like the vendors, the Sutus, the Tswanas, the Ndebeles. So for old people who come here from the uttermost parts of Zimbabwe, they find it difficult to converse with the people that are working here at the border gate. That's the major challenge. If we can have that balance, then
Tangomira 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to stamp the passport and we are already out. So I'm so happy about the change. Even the toilets are now beautiful. Everything is beautiful here now.
This project has given both visitors and citizens a fresh view of government's commitment to transform the country into an empowered upper middle income society.
It's nice, it's clean, it feels safe, you know, with the kids and all that. There's no crowding and stuff. And the artwork and all that, that's the essence of Zimbabwe. They couldn't have captured it better. So yeah, we really appreciate it. It's about time.
BEITBRIDGE ayinzawo lenhle lebukekako ithuthukile kakhulu. Mane line lakhona lidze. Ngiyabambeleleka uma ufuna kuhamba uhambe ubheke ekhasi eZimbabwe. Vele indzawo lephitsitela kakhulu, ngiyaphitsitela mani.
Kudara all because taipinde mu office 1. Nguwa yedu yayiwanda. Tichite zvakasiyana siyana. Izvezvi nekuwanda kwaite maoffice. Nguwa yedu yashoma and then takuspend all time shoma pakupfura kwedu kwatakuita pano paboda pana zvichitibatsirawo pabusiness redu.
Pano pakavakwa zvakanaka ende pakavakwa kudarika dzimwe nyika nokuti panapa totonakirwa kutoti totoshaya kutoti toti kudenga here kana tikudii. Pano pakagadzirwa zvakanaka ende zvinoyevedza zvokuti chero isusu titori pari tatomboti titrai kutomborara pano nokuti pano panotonakidza kutorara.
Hai boda ndiyavhudhi ngamanda savirinesa vashumi ri kuvona zvichikoshumeya ngamanda rikoshuma navanopira richivaitira dzipfanelo dzavo richitanga ndira navone vachishumeya navo hari kuvona zvonaka zvavhudhi bhodha iyavhudhi richishuma ngandira yavhudhi.
Bus operators and those in the shipping and forwarding industry are excited that government has upgraded the information communication technology ICT systems at the border.
Siyabonga iportal phela ngendlela selenze ngayo selilihle iportal leZimbabwe. Selidlula ngesikhathi usesengale useseiportal A1. Kwakule challenge ngoba sasifika pha sihlala isikhathi siba nama queues siba ne congestion enkulu so manje ayiso improve kakhulu ngoba amabhasi singena sodwa ama-trucks angena wodwa nabantu bama-private bezimoto ezincane bangena bodwa so siyabonga mpela kakhulu umsebenzi owenziwa i-government ngoba asisahlali izimside manje isibhetha kakhulu kule South African side ngoba even e-South African side sometimes nokushawa i-networks nokushawa i-load shedding but eZimbabwe amagetsi angahamba same time i-backup supply iya-trigger in so it's a good improvement for our country.
Atasvika panapa totarisa registration number yebhazi yedu apa kana ukaona yabuda apo crowd bhazi rakakura kukodzera kuti ubve pano udi uchiprocedure uchienda kusearching bay kuti vanhu vachipinda mubhazi yatibatsira bhosi taiva tine mvenge kuti mabhazi airovana achipindirana achida kuita number 1 apo neapo saka zvotori nani bhosi chotokontrolwa chiri chega pachiri papa
zvavanani kuwanda kwamakamera vakomana vavo vanoita zvisina basa vaya havachina mukana kunyange isusuwo nyange isu panyaya yekuti tirwe mubhodha munomu hatichaharwi nokuti unotya kuonekwa nekamera unosungwa kwangoita zvisina basa mubhodha pega pauri kufamba pane kamera.
Tichipinda pagedhi apa tinopuwa kuponi redu topinda mukati tomanya kuimmigration then kana tapedza neimmigration mukati tabhukisa mabhazi edu pane manumber plate edu kabuda paTV apo pascreen apo vereva kuti tave ready kuti tichienda tondosechwa mabhazi edu pamberi apo tobva tofamba zvakanaka totenda bhodha redu ranaka matoilets zvese everything mvura malights machena chero mbavha dziya dzaiwanikwa mukati mebhodha hadzisawanikwi mazuva ano.
Bhodha redu tiri kufara naro zvarava improvement yaitiwa mubhodha yakanaka stereki. Bhodha redu rava smart security vanhu havachangotenderi mubhodha chichi taibirwa zvinhu madrivers mubhodha munomu.
Besides the smooth flow of traffic, the new facility creates a memorable travel experience for private travelers, tourists and commercial importers due to its artistic ambience and modern infrastructure design.
The border is so beautiful and we are seeing a lot of changes and it seems like an airport. Seems like an airport, the structure of an airport. So this is a good achievement. So we are so happy and we are proud of this place. When we are looking around, everything is beautiful. The buses, they've got their own place. The cars, private cars, they've got their own place. We don't even take time the counters, they are a lot, so you don't take time to stamp a passport. So this is wonderful.
Bhodha redu rarongeka iko zvino tinotenda kozi zvaranga riri kudhara iko zvino nomufambiro watakuita takunyatsokufamba tichibuda zvakanaka nyange muvakirwa waro munyorerwa waro zvakarongeka.
Siyabonga kakhulu uxhaso esilibone nebhoda. Bhoda litshintshile. Into zonke zinhle, ama-toilet siyabona mahle, yonke into nje kutshintshile nje kuyabonakala nje ukuthi uhulumende ungenele, so siyambonga kakhulu uhulumende.
The project has set the border in the town on the road to real transformation due to other spillover effects. The master plan for BEITBRIDGE went beyond its core function as a national border post. As part of the border modernization project, a total of 220 staff houses for border agencies have been constructed some 5 kilometers east of the town.
It's a very beautiful neighborhood. As you approach from the gate, on your left is the maintenance store. We have the clubhouse, which will cater for entertainment services for the occupants of this lovely project. Right here we have 220 houses comprising Type A executive units for the managers manning the border post. We also have the Type B, which are also 20, which accommodates the middle level management. Then Type C, which is for the general staff. The environment is peaceful, secluded, serene, and we are breathing in fresh air. And in terms of theft, we haven't been affected. We have security services operating 24/7, so it's very comfortable.
Staff have been provided with new accommodation. This has resulted also in decongestion in our houses because we used to have severe accommodation challenges, but now we are housed spaciously in those new houses, and we are grateful.
The 220 housing units that government has also put for government officers that are working at the border post, it's a plus for us. One is the image, it's excellent, well done, and everything looks like a small town somewhere. And what it has done, it has spurred us also to up our standards, that whatever housing development we are going to have, it must match that standard or at least be better than it. And we are also planning as a municipality that around that suburb, we also put up a nice low-density suburb.
In addition, the initiative came with the construction and setting up of a 11.4 megalitres water reservoir and an animal and plant quarantine facility.
There is a 11.4 million litre water reservoir that was constructed, and that has become a huge landmark here in BEITBRIDGE. The reason why this had to be put into the scope is that this town has been growing massively, but the infrastructure, the attendant infrastructure that must support it has been taking a strain, and the city fathers were struggling to catch up with the demand for service facilities. So there was conceived into the design a need to have a reserve for the water supply into the town. And hence this 11.4 million litre water reservoir. It is a huge advantage, because in the unforeseen element of having a breakdown in the equipment that does the water treatment, this town can still go for almost 4 to 5 days on the supply of the reservoir.
bolster BEITBRIDGE municipality's capacity to respond to fire and other related disasters, a new fire station was also constructed as part of the off-site projects.
The fire station is quite modern. Our team is already making use of that fire station, and that's quite, it's a project that we really appreciate that it has come to our town.
The BEITBRIDGE Border Post Modernization Project took place at the same time as the widening of the Harare-BEITBRIDGE Highway, where over 400 kilometers have been opened to traffic.
The highway from the border post right up to Harare for now, it's all done, it's looking nice. There's a roundabout that has been put into town, and the roundabout is maybe unique in this country, maybe the only one of that nature, bigger than any other roundabout that we've seen in Zim. So for us, BEITBRIDGE has become a big tourist attraction, a big investment destination.
We have introduced a traffic circle at that junction, and from that junction up to the border, we have dualized the road. The reason being, we want the traffic coming out of the border to clear the area fast. So we introduced a smooth movement, and of course the traffic going into the border. Should we have any constraint within the border, the two lanes that are going into the border should be able to be used as separation lanes. You will see that when we have issues, be it network temporarily being down, truckers will move to the left and allow passenger traffic and buses to pass. Just these three projects that we have talked about demonstrate the commitment of the Second Republic to fulfill Vision 2030, because focus on infrastructure gives impetus to the fulfillment of that vision.
The project has transformed the face of the border town and created more than 1,400 jobs for locals in line with the National Development Strategy 1 and Vision 2030, which seek to ensure that the country attains an upper middle income economy. The BEITBRIDGE border model will be replicated in other inland ports of entry, which include Chirundu, Forbes, Plumtree, Nyamapanda, and Kazungula.